number 11. So number 11, and I'll do number 11, let's say B. Number 11b says evaluate each expression for a equals 2 and b equals 3. Express values in rational form. So it looks like this: a b cubed, and over here I have ab and then all squared, all over a squared b cubed all cubed. Okay, and I have to find out the answer for when a is 2, so a is equal to 2, and b is equal to 3. So what I'm actually going to do is not going to plug in these things. I'm actually going to follow my rules and at the end plug in those things. So if I do that, following my rules here, on the top I'm not going to do that times that first because this is obviously a power of a power, so I'm going to leave 9b cubed here, but this squared, a is squared, and also the b is squared. Okay, and on the bottom I have all this cubed, so a squared all cubed, that's a power of a power, that's a to the power of 6, and b cubed all cubed is b to the power of 9 because that's also a power of power. Leave the base the same, multiply the exponents. Continuing this, I have the square root of, now this times this ends up being, now I'm going to leave this exact same, b to the power of 9. This times this, well 9 times, there's no number there, so it's just 9. I have a squared, but b cubed times b squared ends up being b to the power of 5 because you keep the base the same, add the exponents. Continuing this, this is the square root of, now I'm actually going to do this divided by this. Now this just has a 1 here, so 9 divided by 1 is just 9. A squared divided by a to the power of 6 is a to the power of -4, because obviously that's a division rule, subtract the exponents. And b to the power of 5 divided by b to the power of 9 is b to the power of -4 as well, because that's just a subtraction rule, or division rule, subtract. Continuing this, I'm going to rewrite this. Actually, I won't rewrite it right now. What I'll actually do is I'll rewrite the square root sign, because that square root sign, remember, means a to the negative, 9, a to the -4, b to the -4. Square root means to the power of a half. Okay? And so to the power of a half, this half applies to all these things. So that's 9 to the power of a half. That's a to the -4 to the power of a half. And how do I do that? That's a power of a power. Keep the a the same. -4 times a half is -4 halves. And b to the -4 to the power of half, keep the base the same, power of a power. -4 times a half is -4 halves. Continuing this, now 9 to the power of a half, that means the square root of 9. A to the -4 halves is actually a to the negative, that divided by that is just -2. B to the -4 halves ends up being b to the power of, that divided by that is -2. So I end up with 3 a to the -2, b to the -2. But again, my final answer cannot be written with negative numbers. So what do? I rewrite this as 3 all over, and this actually means a squared on the bottom. This actually means b squared on the bottom. So this is my final answer when I have simplified this. Now, just remember that my question has asked me to plug in a equals 2 and b equals 3. So at the final stage, I'm going to leave this 3 at the top. A is 2, so that's 2 squared, times b is 3, so that's 3 squared. So that's just going to be equal to 3 all over, this is going to be 4 times 9. And so this is going to be 3 all over 36. And of course, I can divide both top and bottom by 3. This is going to just be 1 over 12. So 1 over 12 is my final answer. So pretty good review here of those questions. I would make sure I know how to do all these exponent rules. And if you know how to do all these exponent rules, you should be very good for your quiz.